Limp Bizkit throwback at the end there.
Hey.
Limp Bizkit.
Welcome back to 6 Degrees Radio. I am the Big Slambini.
And it's the young Chris Greeny.
Health.
It's your boy. Chia. Why do people say Chia back in the day?
Oh, man, I'm not a rapper, man. I wouldn't even know.
Sounded like Chia Pet. Either way,
Chia.
we do have a guest in the building. It's a super busy
Tell
night.
me who it is.
Super busy night. I'm going to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself, my good sir.
Yo, it's your boy, Young Hova. Turn the fucking headphones up. Unleash the flutes.
Oh, man.
All right, so, yo.
It's your man, MLNY, breaking records, the place to be. Salute to the 6 Degrees Radio fam.
Bomb.
Yeah, and salute to you for having us through the show
Hey.
jeez, I just scrambled my
last
brain there
week.
with Toronto Talks.
Hey.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you
was-
guys for coming. That was a fun episode.
Yeah, that was an interesting one right there.
That was fun.
You know, I went on your Twitter and I love Twitter. What can I say?
Hey, man, you're a Twitter man.
Exactly.
Hey.
But more than anything, in the bio, I see that you do have an album out, The Perfect Balance.
Yes.
That came out 2015.
Yeah, that's my proudest work, but I took a little break since then. I put out 2 mixtapes. but-
Yeah, I seen that. I seen
but
that you got
that's the last album I put out.
What was it? It was the cover up and singled out. The
Yeah,
mixtapes,
yeah.
right? You know, you got production on this album here from Classified.
Yes, sir.
I know you got Ghetto Socks on the album. I mean, do you
Yes.
feel like you got the return on your investment for that album, whether it be money and or recognition?
Well, to be honest with you, it's one of those things where like I spent a lot of investments on features and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When I was coming up, like prior to that album, that was my 5th album. So I put out 4 solo albums before that, plus group albums, mixtapes, all that stuff. So that used to be something I was really big on doing because like when I was first really coming up, that's when YouTube first started to pop, right?
Yeah.
So like, you know, all the hip hop heads like us had this data bank to us where we could all of a sudden find all this crap we never heard by all these artists we loved, right?
Yeah.
So in those days, I felt like it was worth it, the investments, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you would just like, you'd get random traffic. But nowadays, the internet is so over saturated, exactly, that I don't really feel like, unless you put advertising dollars into these things you invest in, you don't really get a return on them.
So is that like? Go ahead, Slim.
Well, no, I was just gonna say because like I remember when you put that out. I think we were doing some shows together at that point.
Yeah. That's probably when the Danio tour, around that time.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have put it out, I think, because that was what the jump of 2016 when we did that.
Yeah, I think actually all 3 of us I think like released something at the same time. So we were kind of all touring our old things.
Yeah.
I remember your like because isn't that album like doesn't it have like 20 or 25 tracks or something crazy on it?
Yeah,
Maybe like
because
the
that
deluxe version or something.
Yeah. There's the original version, like it's got 15 joints, the free download, and then the the Bandcamp version. If you wanted to pay for it, you got 25 joints.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
the hard copy has 19.
Okay, yeah, because I remember you doing that, and like all of us were sitting there being like, "Yo, we just put like a 12 track thing," and we're like, "You went like 25, dude, that's crazy."
Well, the thing with that album too, right, is like kind of go back to what you're saying, like the return on your investments. It was like I'd been putting all these projects together, right? And because I kind of had a period of like 3 years where I really like spent a lot of money on features and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I was sitting on features and using them for specific things, right? So I had projects come out before where I used maybe Kid Vicious or like Ed O.G. and stuff like that. But then like that project was the album I'd been working on while I was working on all these other albums
Right, you were
and
slowly building
mixtapes. I was
that one.
slowly building it, and that's why it was called The Perfect Balance. It literally represents the best album I could put together. You have the concepts, you have songs that are just straight bars, you have story songs that are structured like Cool G rap type lyrical. You know what I mean? Like like it like I feel like it notched off everything. Like, the emotional songs still follow very articulate wordplay and have punches, and you know what I mean?
Kind of
like
touches everything that a hip hop album needs to touch.
Yeah,
on.
exactly. Like I tried to make the best rendition I could of like a classic 90s album, something you could pop in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got you.
So that's kind of what The Perfect Balance was. And ever since then, I've been kind of trying to find my new sound. So that's why I've put out mixtapes and stuff, but I'm kind of right now
Testing the waters.
Yeah, exactly.
When can we? Well, you've been in the lab chefing it up, mixing potions.
Yeah.
Mixtape. When can we expect another project?
Well, the thing is now it's kind of like, I'm learning to adapt to the times, right? Because you get stuck in your ways. So I came up once again, like in the days of early YouTube, right? So there was a certain way that you could stay on top of algorithms and you could really manipulate the market to kind of work in your favor as an underground MC. And it's not really like that anymore. You know what I mean? A lot of all the platforms are different now. Even Facebook promote, like all that stuff's different now, right? So to me, it's just a singles game right now. Yeah. So I actually... The music I'm releasing right now, like Sunrise, the joint we'll get into in a little bit, that's actually part of a collection of about 7-8 songs I have right now that were actually together to make an album that was going to be, what was I going to call it? Yesterday's Tomorrow. Okay. But then I decided halfway through, I'm like, yo, even though I got this concept and it was kind of going to be a story album, you know what I mean? Sunrise would be the start and the end was called Insomnia, and it was a song about not being able to sleep because of a heartbreak. You know what I mean? But it's like the whole song, even though there's concept songs that don't really fit the story, the whole song kind of cohesively made a story with the song titles. Yeah. And after, working on that for like however long I did, I'm like, you know what? It's a singles game right now. Why confine myself to, like The Perfect Balance took me 3 years to make. Maybe even a little more. I might have had a couple songs written. So I'm like, why force myself in this box again of trying to nail a concept when nobody cares when it comes to the time to drop the album anymore. You know what I mean?
It's all about just kind of getting the singles out there.
Exactly.
I can respect
So that's why that's why this year the goal is kind of every 2 months or so put out a new video, new single, put it all stream platform and stuff and just promote it the best way I can, come through, do the media platforms, all that stuff, and just kind of work each single.
Well, yeah, smart. No, I mean, I want to get it more into a different question that's related to this later, but, like how do you find time to do that? Because I know that you're involved in, well, like you have what, 2-3 podcasts?
We do 2 podcasts and I got the radio show as well. And I just started because what I'm really trying to do, right? Like I set a goal a year and a half, about a year and a half ago, where a lot of the interviews I was doing through Breaking Records Radio and stuff I was putting up, and I kind of create a format which was starting to kind of work, right?
Yeah.
And so my goal was, I'm gonna be the DJ Vlad of Canada in 5 years. So I got 3.5 years to build that media platform, or at least get it to a point where I'm happy enough with it.
You know they say DJ Vlad is a cop, right?
Yeah, but I just use the example as in the sense of the great content and the interviews and just you know what I mean? Like
I got you, officer.
And since I made
I was gonna say, like, are you sure you want to be DJ Vlad?
No.
That dude starts
the thing
beat.
was you have to go back a year and a half ago.
And
he wasn't quite as
crazy.
No, he wasn't quite in the position he's in now. Like his content and his channel, no disrespect to Vlad, but has kind of gone downhill since then.
Yeah, I haven't watched him in a while, but I mean, I just remember like it always seemed like he was manufacturing beef.
Kind of. And that's not necessarily my goal. I just need a platform.
I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Totally. As a single media dude has created this platform that's like,
Yeah. No, and being someone that knows you, like I know that that's not what your intention is.
Yeah, no.
I mean, like, you've interviewed like Royce, Razcast, Onyx, Bizarre. You know what I mean? Like these people that you've interviewed, like these notable artists. Like, which one of them do you feel was like the most authentic? Basically, which one of them do you think actually told the most of their truth, and which one do you think actually told the most lies?
Lies.
Like who just lied? Who just straight up lied?
I would have to think about the lying.
I feel like it was Bizarre. I don't know why I feel like he'd just be a liar.
Yeah.
No, he just was kind of short.
Okay.
He was a little short.
Yeah.
It's hard to say as far as a liar. That's a good question. The most authentic, hands down, was DMC or Run DMC.
Nice.
That was my favorite interview. Like, we just sat there, because, like, I'm a rap nerd, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So when I start interviewing these dudes, like the dudes I really respect and look up to, next thing you know, it just becomes a conversation. And it's like, oh, crap, it's been 45 minutes. Or, like, it's been an hour. You know what I mean? And it's like, Cool G Rap was great. Royce the 5'9" was great. Like, a lot of times, people's managers or publicists would be coming into the room or, like, tapping their watch in the corner,
like,
like,
it's time to go.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of them are really authentic, really good in that sense. But DMC was the best because his publicist wasn't around, his manager wasn't around. We were just on like a second level, like, trying to think of the word for it, but like in a lobby of a hotel, basically on the second level, no one there bothering us. And next thing you know, like I had to take work off because I didn't hear back from his publicist until the day before. So I had to take work off. I had to go into work. A new job I just started like 3 weeks before and be like, hey, look, I got this opportunity to interview DMC. Like, can I leave work 4 hours early today? And she's like, all right.
Make sure you just get this signed for me.
Yeah, basically, right? So I got there, and we're kicking it, and next thing you know, I look at my clock, and it's like 5 o'clock. Like, it's been like an hour, and I'm like, all right, so yeah, like you got sound check soon, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like,
well, speaking of looking at the clock, we're gonna jump into a track right now called Sunrise. That's your newest single that you put out. I'm not gonna play the remix. I'm just gonna play the original one. I think.
I don't think I gave a clean of the remix.
Yeah, I don't think you did either. So I'm gonna play. So I'm gonna play Sunrise. We're gonna come back because I have some more questions about some of the other interviews you've done recently. Here we go with MLNY Sun. Now we up into the sunrise, and now we up into the sunrise. Welcome back to 6 Degrees Radio.
That was all DJ Slam, by the way.
Yeah, that was all me at the end. That wasn't actually a part of the song.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of ask you a question about your interviews. I mean, like you have a lot of notable people.
Yeah.
In your, I guess, catalog of interviews.
Yeah.
And like you talked like at the beginning, where it's a little bit more difficult to manipulate like the online platform, just because I guess maybe because it's so overly saturated now. And this is important for everybody out there listening, for people who want to do media, and for people who like pay for like features of these like, I guess like, tier A, B, C, whatever artists.
Yeah.
My question is, you got these great artists that you interview. Why would you say like it's not? Because I look at the numbers as far as the views, and like I don't think the views should be where they are.
No,
like,
they should be higher.
Yeah, why do you feel like it's not connecting?
It's just all about getting it's consistency, right?
Okay.
And that's kind of goes to something else I was saying when I kind of got on the Vlad tip to begin with before we got sidetracked. But once I made that notion where I'm like, yo, this is my goal set.
Yeah.
I started working harder to book interviews for more consistency, right? But it's not easy to always get top tier interviews.
No, of course.
You know what I mean? It does. It takes time. It's a lot of inquiries you don't get responses to. But my thing is to like, I just recently started doing phone interviews again. I took like years off doing phone interviews. I would just wait till rappers were coming and then try to weasel my way in any way I could to get the interview. But once again, it's one of those things, content, right? And it's consistency. Like, you can't drop a dope interview clip every month. You know what I mean?
That to work.
And expect it, I got some clips like, that are close to 100K, stuff like that.
Right.
Like some do have numbers, but it's all about what kind of weasels its way through the algorithms, right? And like what, people that search, what it comes up related. It's always the random stuff. The stuff you think that'll connect never really connects.
So if you want to connect, you're like, this is good. I want people to hear this.
That stuff never really connects. And then the stuff, like random stuff, like one day you'll be like, my phone's blowing up. You're looking, you're like, this video's popping?
Yeah. And I'm looking at your YouTube right now. Like, I see what you mean by the consistency, because like today alone, you've put up 4 videos?
Yeah, all reaction videos, because that's a big thing I started doing. They're really big online, right?
Yeah, it's true.
They're bigger than a lot of content is. And so I'm like, I'm a rap nerd. Why would I not sit here and just critique new records? Like, it takes 10 minutes tops out of my day, then like 10 minutes to edit. They're the easiest videos to edit. Way easier than editing interviews and podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm like, and literally, I've jumped in like 20 subscribers, like if not more, this past week, just doing these videos.
Oh, sick! It makes sense. So, getting back to the interviews, I'm just wondering, out of everybody that you've met, and I know that you've done like big shows and stuff too.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that you got an interview with and you were like shook when you met them? Because it's a lot more intimate than a show.
Yeah. I used to get. I've become very comfortable with it now.
Yeah.
But I've gotten shook a handful of times.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Onyx. I'm playing.
No, they made it awkward. We were talking about the Onyx interview offline.
Yeah.
They made it awkward, which then gets me nervous. Because then it's awkward. And I'll explain the rest of that to you after. But I'm trying to think like the most nervous I've been. There's definitely been ones I've messed up. Like I accidentally asked Classified, because for some reason I was just nervous and awkward. Even though I already knew Classified at this point. We had already met each other a handful of times. He already produced for me. I've already interviewed him before. For some reason this day I was just off and I felt awkward. I wasn't expecting to get the interview, but my girl at the time got us backstage and we did get it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, she convinced me to get myself backstage.
But
so I wasn't gonna. So I'm there and I'm like crap, and I'm like kind of not prepared. And then I hit the Wikipedia page I had printed at the side just for like, you know, if I needed odd back notes. And it said he played the skin flute. So I'm like, I heard you play the. Yeah, that was awkward.
So that happened.
Yeah. And he's like, did he just ask you if you? No, I'm not gonna say on.
No, but
air.
Even further, you're just like, Luke. I heard that you're like, isn't that his real name?
I had to cut the clip out of the interview. It's so funny.
You called him as Govey?
I didn't call him as Govey.
Okay.
I should have. That would have rhymed. Oh man, but man, J. Rue the Damager for some reason once again, like that was later after I'd done a lot of interviews, but. I feel the most awkward now because I'm comfortable with it, but I feel the most awkward when people aren't responsive. Like you ask them like an in-depth question, they're like, yeah.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, I was expecting this to last about 2 or 3 minutes. I don't really know to go from here. I guess I'll just ask another random question.
Totally.
It doesn't connect. I have no segue now.
I'll be honest, we had one interview once, and this is before you joined the show, Chris, where I asked someone pretty notable why they named their album after like a certain Disney character, and they were just like, Disney character, and then I like asked some sort of thing connected to that movie, and then they just didn't know, and I was like, all right, we're gonna play a track, and they just like went directly into it.
Chill.
Just like unleash the flutes on him.
Yo, I think we gotta respect the time a little bit. Can I quickly bust off a random 10?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we got a couple minutes left.
Hey.
Dope. We're gonna keep it super quick.
Cool.
This is Malone, the random 10. Of course, we're gonna keep DJ Vlad. I'm playing. We're gonna keep DJ Slam in the mix. Let's get it popping. Yo, all right. So Malone.
Hey.
Who would win in a battle? You were classified.
Me.
DJ Slam, who do you think would win the battle? Malone or classified?
Yeah, him, of course.
Okay, of course.
No disrespect to class, but.
Okay, all right. Does a finger in your butt while you're getting a blowjob make you curious?
All right, so that's the end of the show. I really appreciate everybody listening today.
Yes or no?
I've had a girlfriend do that to me before.
Okay.
It's not even
Slam.
curious. You mean does it make me curious?
Yeah, does it make you kind of like...
I was curious about it until it happened, and I was like, okay,
so then
it's kind of what I expected.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Is Liam Nielsen racist for saying he wanted to kill a random black person?
Oh, that's a hard question to answer in a second.
Yes or no?
The way he said it was racist. I don't believe he technically is racist.
Yeah, I think he just explained it badly. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't think you would say that if you're open. Like, if you were racist, I don't think you would just come out like that. Like, I think he would. Like Kanye when he said the slave thing. I think it came out wrong.
Came out bad. Delivery. Are prostitutes people too?
Hell yeah.
Of course.
When you're on Pornhub, what's the most amount of pages you've gone through looking for the right video?
Oh no.
A good 25.
25.
Yeah, probably.
I'm desensitized.
Yeah, man. It's the same with me.
25. Do you believe in stereotypes?
I don't believe them to be true, but they exist.
Slam?
Okay, here's one that's always been true for me. Never trust a man with a goatee. And Maloney, you got one right now.
Hey, you know what? I lined myself up earlier, and it was crooked, and then it got too low where I couldn't fix it anymore. So I'm like, "Fuck it, go."
Now he's untrustworthy. What's your favorite pizza place?
You know what? Blondie's up on Dundas in the East End. It's this new joint.
Nice.
It's incredible.
Slam.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with probably Gigi's. That's close to here.
Okay. You know, Lay's, they got tons of flavored chips.
Yeah.
If Lay's made vagina flavored chips, do you think they would sell? And would you buy them?
I wouldn't buy them because I hate Lay's chips. I eat like 3 and my tongue stings for like an hour because they're so salty.
I didn't even think of that.
What about you, Slam?
But that would sell.
Oh, it would sell for sure because it would not even for people that want it.
Would you buy it?
I might buy it for like you know what? I would buy it to joke to prank people.
Just be like, oh, okay, I got you.
Think of just all the incels that would buy that.
Yeah, true.
That would be a hit.
True. Like, yo, honestly, like for example, like my buddy just got engaged recently. So my engagement present to him was a 4-foot painting of his face. So I would totally buy those chips, man.
I need that kind of friend.
We talked about it earlier, but should they bring the death penalty back to Canada? Yes or no?
Never.
No,
Okay.
never.
Last but certainly not least, can you complete this Shabba Ranks lyric? Ting-a-ling-a-ling, school bell a ring.
I can sing. No dirty panty, no dirty panty.
Slam?
Ding a ding.
Knife and fork a fight for dumpling.
Okay, of course.
Chaba Ranks. That's the random 10 with the homeboy Malone, man. Take us out of here.
Hey, well, you know what it is. Your man Maloney, MLNY. Check out the new music video, Sunrise. It's Maloney Media. As an MC, it's MLNY. But same thing, just vowels out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's more searchable.
Yeah.
MLNY, Sunrise. Check it out. It's on all your streaming platforms. Music videos on YouTube. You know what it is. And I think Slam's going to hit you off with one more.